My number 10, I'm not going to give the specific location away because it's personal, private in a sense, but it is my Mima's grave. All right. She passed away in 2008. And there are a lot of times, more often than not, where I just kind of go and sit by her stone. Uh, just kind of relax. I'll lay down. Um, I'll sit. And it's just kind of like I don't know. It's spiritually just refreshing. Sometimes she's missed a lot. Unfortunately, again, passing away just before my senior year, she's missed a lot that has gone on in my life. It's been a long time. It's crazy to think it's almost been 20 years already. We're 17 at this point. Um, so spiritually, I like to think that she's kind of looking down, watching, but even still, like I go there alone always. I never drag anybody that doesn't want to be there to go. And to be honest with you, I don't want to go with anybody else. I don't want to go with anybody else. I want to go there on my own and just be at peace, and just sit there and enjoy the quiet that comes with it. All right, the loneliness, the solitude, and in my spiritually, I feel like she's there. One of those kind of deals. So I've always found peace in that. I've gone there many times over the years. I remember actually a couple years ago, I was working with those crappy bricklayers that I mentioned in one of my lists. I can't recall at this point, but it was literally right across the street from that location, and it was like my birthday. I had another horrible day, and after work, I just kind of went over there and just chilled out and decompressed and relaxed, and it was great. It was like it was meant to be. That this crap job that I was on was right there. So when I was miserable and I had a horrible day, I can just kind of go there and ease up a little bit before I go home and you know leave that stuff. I can leave that work stuff behind me. So my number 10, my Mima's grave. Number 9, I haven't been to this place in quite a long time, but when I was going every 3 weeks, it was a lot. It was very peaceful. My friend Lindsay, she runs a company called the Body Co. in downtown Buffalo, and it was like I looked forward to that the most. All right, it's I haven't been since December. Money's been tight, and the older my kid gets, the more expensive he becomes. So unfortunately, I haven't had the revenue to be able to do that. But again, after a long week of work or whatever's going on at home, go there, get a nice massage in a relaxing environment, and I always just felt like just so much better, just immaculately better at the end of the session, and it could hold me over for 2 to 3 weeks until I ended up going back. I would love to be able to go back again. It's nice. Massages are such a nice thing, and I like. There was before she opened up her business, I would try any massage place that I can get my hands on or get. It's probably a bad phrasing there. That I can go to any massage place that I can get myself into. Sometimes you go to the malls and they have some kind of massage place set up, and I always get beat up by dudes. Like I always get the dudes who are just literally just karate chopping my back and punching it, and I always felt worse after it. Not fun. Not fun at all. But Lindsay does a good job. Presentation. There's nice, relaxing music. The lighting is perfect. And she does a really, really good job. And I'm happy that her business is as successful as it is. And hopefully I'll be able to go back eventually. It's a really nice spot. So the Body Co. in Buffalo is definitely one. And hopefully go back soon. Number 8. There is a nature preserve just outside of downtown Buffalo called Tift Nature Preserve. It's a fun little spot. Park your car, you walk through. There's deer, there's fox, there's turtles, there's all sorts of gigantic birds that are really cool. And depending on when you go, obviously the type of animals that are out and about are going to be different, but it's set up really nicely. I've gotten lost there a few times and even like as frustrating as that could have been, I was like, this is fine. This is nice. Like I'm having a good time here. So I like being in nature. There's another spot too in the area. It's about the same distance away, called like the Alabama Swamps up here in Western New York, and it's kind of similar. There's a lot of cool animals and stuff out and about, but Tift is just nice. The way it's set up is nice. There's uh, just nice walkways. You get a little bit of everything environment wise there, and it's quite peaceful to kind of go there and relax and you can sit on a bench and just chill out and just breathe in the fresh air. It's really a wonderful place. So Tift Nature Preserve, that is my number 8. Number 7, one of my favorite spots in all of Western New York is Old Fort Niagara, and they have a whole state park dedicated around this place. I just love Youngstown in general. I do. It's such a nice place. I would love to be able to afford to live there. I really truly would. But Old Fort Niagara it's a historical location first and foremost. Big part of the American Revolution, French and Indian War here. Played a part in the War of 1812, amongst some other places of U.S. history. But it's cool. I first went there on a school field trip tour, and over the last couple of years, I've just gone by myself, and you don't have to wait for a tour guide. You kind of just go and take your time at your own pace, and it's really nice. It is really peaceful, especially, again, depending on when you go, there's usually sometimes nobody there. So you're walking through the museum right out of the gate, and there's not a single soul there to disturb your peace. You're walking through the grounds. There's not crowds of people everywhere, which is right up my alley. Crowds are no good for my mental. Crowds are just no good for peace. I would certainly say that. You will not find. I think none of the places that I'm going to mention on this list involve big time crowds. So, Old Fort Niagara, that is my number 7. Number 6, this is probably the closest thing to a big crowd, but also depending on where and when you go, it really doesn't matter. But Niagara Falls State Park is one of those spots for me as well. I live a short drive from it. There's lots of little nooks and crannies in the state park where you can kind of go and just be yourself, be relaxed. I don't go to the big places like Terrapin Point or some of those. I'll go find like Three Sisters Island. Like people will kind of maybe come through and boogie really quick. I go there. I go to the end. Usually not too many people come through, and I can just sit and chill. There's also a lot of other spots throughout the park that you can kind of go and just sit and relax and enjoy the sound of the water. Really great views. That's my sort of thing. I love water. I feel like I've talked about this plenty at this point. Waterfalls especially, and Niagara Falls is really good. I will say the Canadian side is a lot of fun to go visit too. I usually walk over and just walk to the end. There's a lot of people over there, especially with Clifton Hill. It's a very active, busy place. But the Niagara Falls side, it's both Niagara Falls. The American side is quite peaceful. So my number 6, Niagara Falls State Park. My number 5, it's this studio that I'm in. All right, this wonderful place that my mentor and friend Rich Moranto has created. Emerge Media Creators Co-op. It is a fantastic place. It is everything that I wished that my podcast studio could have been. And I'm so glad that after hesitation and many other reasons that I did join this place. I come here once, this is literally the only peace and quiet that I expect to have is doing this YouTube show. I come here late on a Saturday, late on a Sunday sometimes, and I just come here. There's nobody else around. I walk to the back. I sit in this chair. I got my notebook, and I just talk. I let everything out. This is my therapy every single week, and that's why this show is just so important to me. Is because I can. It's me. It's all like. There's no me depending on co-hosts. There is no. I don't need anybody else here. I just kind of come here, do my thing, and that's that. And this place is so nice. Maybe someday we can do a mini tour, but there's couches. There's just a good environment. I can come here and edit. It's 5 minutes from my house, so even if I'm stressed out at home, I could just come here and just sit in one of the locations, because there's always a spot where you can just kind of just hang out and chill. I'm very grateful for this studio and being here and everything that Mr. Moranto, Rich Moranto, or we just call him Ranto, and his boys have put into this, and all the other creators that make this place feel special. So Emerge Media Creators Co-op right here in Niagara Falls. That is my number 5. Number 4. This is probably the farthest one out that I have. But every time I go back to Rochester area, because years ago when I was in another relationship, I did a photo shoot at this location, and I was amazed by how hidden away it was, how tucked away it was, and how beautiful it was. So ever since I got a camera, I've made it an effort to go visit that spot every single time. It's called Holly Falls in Holly, New York, just outside of Brockport. It's really on the way. It's probably about an hour away from where I live currently, and it is amazing. You can get very, very close to this spot. And it's just such a pretty location. There's there's bridges to get across some of the various little streams and whatnot, and there's a lot of adventuring you can do at Holly Falls. I usually go up. It's my first stop. I try to go up if I leave at 4:30 in the morning, and I'll go in when the sun's starting to come up, and it is just impressively beautiful. It's a cool little waterfall. I'm gonna put pictures up as I'm editing this, but you can kind of see what it's like. There's a little piece of land that you can. It stays relatively dry. You can stand in it, sit in it, and you're right in front of the waterfall. And there's a lot of peace in waterfalls, as I've already mentioned, and this is one of my favorite ones. I'd be willing to go out there for a special trip every now and then, because just how cool and pretty it is. It's a really nice location, and usually never too busy, especially early in the morning. I never have to worry about large crowds, large groups. I know people get pictures done there, especially if you're going later in the day. But when I go early in the morning, there's never been another soul in sight. So Holly Falls in Holly, New York. That is my number 4. Number 3, there's it's kind of morbid. It's another cemetery, but it's a popular one. In fact, I think it's the biggest one in Western New York. It is Forest Lawn Cemetery in downtown Buffalo. It has a lot of famous people in it, including one of our U.S. presidents. I believe our 13th or 14th U.S. president. I want to say 13th. Millard Fillmore is buried there, along with Rick James has a grave there. There's a lot of other famous people, and a lot of beautiful tombs and art. Some of these headstones are just immaculate, and there's a real sense of peace that I get walking in a cemetery. As morbid as it may sound, there's just something about it. I plan on visiting this summer and taking a walk, taking a stroll, and just enjoying the location. Again, it's a sad place for many, but there's also a semblance of peace when you walk in a place like that. It's meant to be quiet, meant to be a peaceful resting place for those who are there, and I definitely find a bit of peace every time that I go there. So, Forest Lawn Cemetery in Buffalo, New York. My number 2, we're going to Wilson, New York, and there's a pier out there, out that way. It's a little bit of a drive, but it's, in my opinion, the best place to catch a sunrise in Western New York, in my opinion. It's right on Lake Ontario, and it's really cool because from it, you can, if there's a clear day, you can see Toronto on the other side. But it's like a nice boating community. Like, it's definitely a little bit more uppity, but everybody's so friendly. Like, I'll go sit on that pier and wait to do pictures or video or whatnot, and there's people on their boats out there all sorts of hours in the morning. They're waving. Like, it's just, everybody's super friendly and happy. But I've gone out on that pier many a time, bright and early, and just enjoyed every minute of watching a sunrise. There's something really powerful and peaceful in watching the sun come up. And yeah, if you live in the Western New York area, do it. If you just never seen the sun come up, do it. Okay. It may not seem like much. Like, hearing about it or just the idea of it may not seem like much, but there's just something really cool about being in the presence of the sun coming up, especially on a big, beautiful lake like Lake Ontario. So Wilson Pier is my number 2, and my number 1 is Chestnut Ridge Park / the Eternal Flame Trail in Orchard Park, New York. Chestnut Ridge Park is massive, a lot of hills, a lot of woodsy areas, but Eternal Flame Trail is where the money's at for me. All right, it's a relatively easy hike. It's very wet. All right, you got to traverse going upstream. All right, the current's kind of coming your way, so you got to work through it just a little bit, but you get to walk through the water, which is fun. It's nice. As somebody who loves and enjoys water, that's nothing for me. And at the end of it is a waterfall that you can get right up to. Like, that's the point of it. Like, there's a gas emission that it's in this little hole that has a flame coming out of it, which is really nice. But I've gone down there solo, all right, taking plenty of pictures, and if I'm there and nobody's there, I will legit lay on the rock. All right, I will lay on the waterfall and just legitimately, literally soak in the water. And the sound of it is peaceful. The feeling is peaceful. And the fact that there's this beautiful waterfall just there. And again, the hours that I tend to go to this place, I'm very alone. Like, I have this spot to myself, and it is peaceful. I could sit there for hours on end. Hours on end. This is one of the few spots where I can actually sit and relax for hours on end. And I can go write. I can go just sit and be at peace. I can listen to music in a set of headphones. Just being around it is immaculate. Like, I'm going to put, obviously I'm putting pictures up. You already see it. It's already up at this point, but pictures don't do this place justice. It is my perfect little place. That's very well known. It's very well known, and it can get very, very busy down there, but it is like, it's just perfect. It belongs in a movie. Like, it just doesn't feel real being in the presence of this little waterfall. So, but there it is, everybody. That is my top 10 list of peaceful locations.